Isaac and his mother lived alone in a small house on a hill. Isaac kept to himself, drawing pictures and playing with his toys as his mom watched Christian broadcasts on the television. Life was simple, and they were both happy. That was until the day Isaac's mom heard a voice from above. "Your son has become corrupted by sin. He needs to be saved." "I will do my best to save him, my lord," Isaac's mother replied, rushing into Isaac's room, removing all that was evil from his life. Again, the voice called to her. "Isaac's soul is still corrupt. He needs to be cut off from all that is evil in this world and confess his sins." "I will follow your instructions, Lord. I have faith in thee," Isaac's mother replied, as she locked Isaac in his room, away from the evils of the world. One last time, Isaac's mom heard the voice of God calling to her. "You've done as I've asked, but I still question your devotion to me. To prove your faith, I will ask one more thing of you." "Yes, Lord, anything," Isaac's mother begged. "To prove your love and devotion, I require a sacrifice. Your son Isaac will be this sacrifice. Go into his room and end his life as an offering to me to prove you love me above all else." "Yes, Lord," she replied, grabbing a butcher's knife from the kitchen. Isaac, watching through a crack in his door, trembled in fear. Scrambling around his room to find a hiding place, he noticed a trap door to the basement hidden under his rug. Without hesitation, he flung open the hatch, just as his mother burst through his door and threw himself down into the unknown depths below.
Well, that certainly is something, huh? Well, looks like it's time to thrust ourselves buck naked into the unknown depths below. Completely fresh. Brand new save file. Let's start this. I have some mods enabled. I mean, see, they're kind of... I'm not going to talk about that last one, but anyways, these aren't going to hamper the performance of the new save file. Mostly they're just quality of life improvements. I have not tried this JoJo reference yet. I don't intend to. We are going to start as our old boy Isaac here. That's all that's available to at the beginning. Just him. He's got nothing to his arsenal, nothing to his name. Just the boy and his tears. And of course we'll do hard mode, because hard mode is the true mode. Normal mode, the difference here is that normal mode has smaller floor layouts, a little bit easier enemies. It's kind of negligible when you're used to hard mode. So I'm just going to dive right in here. There's also these game modes, but I'm not going to touch that just yet. Let's just start with the basics. So as you saw from the cutscene, the mom is the primary antagonist here. It's pretty interesting. And we gotta fight our way through this basement here. I don't know why these guys are on fire. They don't belong here. They should be in the burning basement. But I don't think we've unlocked the burning basement yet. So we're in a bit of an impasse. So as you can see, there's little obstacles on the ground here. There's fires and nonsense. They will destroy enemies as well as yourself, so you have to be careful. But they can be strategically useful. And there, my friends, is the item room. This is stem cells. It gives you some HP. This is dogtooth. Gives you some damage. Gives you some speed. I did not know that. And it hobbles when there's a secret room nearby. Normally there's no indication except your own intuition. And look at that! A golden poop! What bounties lie within? Well, we're pretty loaded now, Might be worth... Oh, look at that. We'll go back to that real soon. Real soon. Oh, these tricky little cloddy dudes fire diagonal shots. See, enemies in the basement, they're pretty basic. They start you off nice and easy. And They will amp up in the later floors. Eventually you're just fighting low-level bosses all the way down. But, we're not near there just yet. Petrified Poop. This here is a trinket. And you equip that, it does random things. Sometimes good, sometimes really annoying. This one makes poops spawn their bounty more often. Coins, hearts, that's about it. You can only get coins and hearts. And, oh, we got another secret room here. There's also bombs and keys, as you might have noticed. And we used some bombs earlier to reroll, reroll as a concept. Now that's quite the introduction. That little machine there transformed the stem cells into something else with the power of our bomb. Alternatively, you can just pay money. Did not have any money though. So basically it just gives you a brand new item. It's very useful. You got some garbage you don't want, you got a poop, a literal poop, you can find one there. You can re-roll it, and you can have a lot nicer of a selection. Not all item rooms have a re-roll machine, in fact it's pretty rare sometimes. Oh, did you really have to do that now? So these are the turdlings. I have to get out of the habit of closing the boss cutscene, because normally that's just a waste of time. But here we want to show the nice beautiful pixel art for all these bosses, you know? Come on now, you're almost deceased. Get out of here. So, this is a bit of a pickle, isn't it? Not something you see very often. We may have to restart the entire fight. No. Turns out we did not. So I will grab this, a range upgrade. Not the fattest of loots from a boss, that's for sure. I know, Dogtooth, I know. I know, Fido, but I can't get there. Maybe I could have played that spike room. These have all sorts of loot inside. But it's a little too late now. I want to keep this Eternal Heart intact, because you'll see what that does soon enough. Sacrifice rooms, that's a whole smorgasbord of nonsense. They seem pretty detrimental at first. I mean, you're just hurting yourself to earn, I don't know, a chest, some pennies, maybe a spirit heart if you're lucky. Hopefully we'll see one of those soon enough. And there we go. The Eternal Heart has manifested as an extra HP container. Now, as I said earlier, there are a lot of items that give you straight up HP improvements, like those stem cells. Hey, there it is. Too bad I can't reach it. Surrounded by pits. I love that key as well. Now, you might notice there's a little 100% down at the corner there, on the bottom left, somewhat above our little poop there. And that is a chance to view a special deal once you've beaten the boss. It doesn't appear on the first floor for, I don't know, reasons unknown, maybe balancing purposes. But now we have a chance to reach that. Oh, it looks like the final enemy killed itself, that's nice. Same room twice in a row. Sure. So we will hopefully... Nope. Okay. So there's the caveat. If you take damage to your red heart containers, you can say bye-bye to your devil chances. It gets plummeted down to 1%. Not the most reliable, but only for the room that you're in. So it goes back up to 36% by default. And basically this applies to the boss room only. The chance of actually getting the deal, that is. So you will end up fighting the floor boss. Usually you want one of those blue hearts as insulation because... Okay. Pills here. These have an assortment of effects. From straight up trollish to pretty good. And this is pretty much one of the worst possible ones. There you have it. Are You a Wizard? Classic aged memes. Brought to you fresh by Edmund McMillan. Thank you, Mr. Edmund. Thank you. And this Are You a Wizard pill will expire after 1 minute. And it has. So there we go. Alright, boys. I'll dispatch of you soon enough. Don't you worry. So we have a 36% deal chance. That has not changed. There are ways to improve that, but sadly, most of them require a bomb, which I still do not have. Yeah, I hear you, doggo. That is certainly going to be a secret room. Well, we have 2 keys. We have 2 locked doors. Let's take a look. There's a ladder and a key. Now the ladder could actually be a good purchase here. Oh, Mr. Boom, huh? That's not Mr. Boom, that's just 10 additional bombs. Might as well touch this. There is no harm in doing so. Hey! This black heart here, functionally identical to soul hearts. Basically, it's a nice layer of protection against the boss. You can maintain your deal for a devil. Oh my! By the way, every item you pick up is required for completion. To achieve the highest amount of completion, you will need to touch every item at least once. Items in a secret room are a relatively rare phenomenon. Skeleton key, of course, is one of those very nice rare items. So that's nice to have for the future. And of course, it immediately gives us 99 keys. Not a lot of items in the game are better than that. And this is an arcade. This is a pretty poor example. Normally you can find little slot machines or blood donation machines, which are a little self-evident. You can hurt yourself for money. It's more strategic than you might think. Money is certainly more valuable than HP when you have as much raw skill as me. Might not be something you do as your very first playthrough, but good to keep in mind. Anyways, now we have the ladder. Voila. Grab that. And what else was there to do? I heard barking back there, and I know there's another soul rock somewhere. You might ask, what's a soul rock? Isn't that a Pokemon? You're absolutely correct. But in this case, I'm referring to... Okay, I don't need you guys. Oh, do notice, bombing these shopkeepers back when I was in the shop gave me a plus 10% chance for the deal. Usually little evil-related tasks such as that will increase your chance of spawning the devil deal. So we're up to 46% chance. That's pretty nice. Here we go. Notice how that rock has an X on it, right? Normally those will drop the blue soul hearts. Hence the colloquial term soul rock. Ooh, wait. The bark was back here. This must be it. Not only is there a secret room, there is a second secret room. Those are pretty hit or miss. But that one had a nice black heart, so I am content. Now they each have spawning requirements so you can divine through your own brain power where it could probably be. The second secret room tends to be near the boss fight. Alternatively, the farthest possible from the boss fight. So it is a bit of a gamble. Not something you can rely on all the time. And the second secret room does not have any rooms bordering it. By the way, this here is Monstro. This is going to be our first unlocking of the save file, so congratulations. Suppose we'll see it soon enough. Once we descend to them. Oh, we missed our deal. Too bad. We will get our 100% guarantee next floor, so that's nice to keep in mind. Now we have the insulation required to keep our 100% chance intact. Oh, welcome back, doggo. What fun-filled secret rooms do you have in store for me? I should probably check these other rooms, see if there's a valid location. Oh, for sure. There we go. And we can explode this here TNT. Skyrocket those out of there. A key? You know what? Usually these guys are a poor investment. They'll take your keys, they'll spew chests. Sounds good, right? But keys are usually a lot more valuable than this. Skeleton key is not something you can rely on. But here I am. Okay, be gone. Yes, there are troll bombs in this game. Any bomb that spawns is a chance to just be a troll bomb. Just a big ol' heck you. very close, but he stayed alive. And the bigger troll bombs, they'll follow you, in case it was not obvious. That there is another trinket. I do not have an active item to demonstrate with. This, however, is a trinket that is immediately relevant. It allows you to... The paperclip, it's kind of self-explanatory, it's a little lockpick. So that's that. I have 77 keys, so it's not exactly relevant, but usually it's a very good get. So if you are willing to dump like 50 keys on a key beggar, you might find yourself rewarded with unlimited keys for opening chests. Sadly, it only lockpicks chests, so take that as you will. Ah, chargers. Classic enemy. Little maggot dudes that'll just reach out, try to bite you. And these black ones spawn bullets, so they're just really annoying. Oh yeah, this is a drowned cave, so normal chargers, when they spawn, they have a chance to be replaced by the drowned ones. Very annoying. Ah, here we go. Here's an item that I can sample in. As you can see, the bomb is not exploding. Now it is. I pressed the left shoulder button, and it detonated. Yes, I'm using a controller. There's also keyboard controls. I'm just more comfortable with the controller. It's an Xbox One controller if you're curious. Very comfortable. Having the analog stick on the upper left is probably the best setup for this game. Got your thumbs at equal horizontal positioning. It's very ergonomic. I do appreciate it. Ah, I hear a howl. Now, finding the second secret room on a big room like this can be quite a gamble. We do have enough bombs to make it happen. So what we will do is line them up and blast. Got one. Alright. I mean, there's only going to be one, but you know what I mean. We found it. Say, petrified poop. More coins would be very nice. So as you can see, there is a timer at the top of the screen. There's also score, but that's irrelevant most of the time. The timer, well, other than showing how you're pacing yourself, it has some significant events at the 20-minute and the 30-minute intervals. I don't think I can do anything with those just yet, and besides, I'm going way too slow to make any use of them. But yeah, those will be interesting when we come around to that. Until then, at this point in the game, just ignore it. Not much to be gained by trying to speedrun. Especially not in hard mode when the floors are gigantormous. Ah, Peep. Again. I flashed out of his introductory bubble there. But you see him. He's big, he's full of pee. He will use that pee to try to harm you. I need to move these bombs in place. Come on, Peep. And yes, his eyeballs float around the screen, try to damage you. And there we go. 2 bombs. Well, normally you might be a little bit stronger than this. At this point in the game, I have 1 small damage upgrade and 1 small tears upgrade. Of course, it could also be a lot worse off than this, but hopefully not. This is a pretty boring run to start off with, but it gets the job done. Very monotonous these bosses can be, but when you do have the power, it's oh so satisfying to squanch them out of existence. Mom's coin purse. Alright.
Lemon party.
Now we have 2 mom items. Could theoretically lead us to attaining a transformation, the mom transformation. And what that will do is spawn a little knife behind us that can touch enemies. A little bit of protection for your backside. Very nice. Mama's love. It's a little strange to become what you are setting out to destroy, but that's the way she goes. I am going back for this potential item room. I mean, there's guaranteed to be an item room each floor. That's how it is. That's how the game is. Unless, of course, you're playing a challenge in which there are no item rooms. But we are not. There it is. That familiar golden door that we oh so love. And these portals are probably the worst type of enemy here. They'll keep dumping enemies until they despawn. Or until you kill them. Whichever comes first. Chemical peel. Alright. Every other tier has some extra damage. It's a little bit of a strange item. I always underrate it, but apparently it's acceptable. Nothing too special here, but we're not in a hurry. We might as well give it a shot. So this is a little gauntlet room, and basically you fight 3 waves of enemies, and you might get a reward at the end. You might not. The real reason is whatever faces you when you enter the room. So what I had here was a golden chest. I decided it would be worth it for a single golden chest. It was alright. If you're not near death, it's usually fine. If you're not in a hurry, it's usually fine. And sometimes, of course, there's a drop at the end of the room when you clear it. A key, a coin, a bomb. You want it? It's yours, my friend. Purely determined by RNG, but yeah. Now, there are some ways to skew the RNG in your favor. Namely, there is an actual luck stat, as you can see by that shamrock there. Also on the left of the screen, there's a shamrock. And that, my friends, indicates, well, luck. But it's not as game-breaking as you'd expect. What it does is it increases the chance for a consumable to drop in the middle of the room when you defeat it. It also increases the chance for some tier effects, which I don't have, but they will spawn more often. And this here, a little baby boy that will harvest your hearts. And he paid out with caffeine pill. Usually pays out with drug-related items or other goodies. Definitely the best sort of beggar compared to this one, who takes your money and gives you HP. Or sometimes strategic items like the compass. Lemon Party. Could have been a better usage, but when do you ever get such a strategic use of Lemon Party? Oh, it must be this side. I did not have to bomb myself. That was irresponsible. I will now attempt to bomb myself. You can try this at home. You can be just like me. And there you have it. Most new players of the game will meet this same fate. And I will try this again. We'll be much better off this time around, I guarantee it. That there is a curse room. To the uninitiated, they appear to be useless, boring. You take HP for red chests which have spiders and cursed eye inside. What could possibly be the advantage? Well, the red chests can have better things than cursed eye, and they can also have soul hearts. So usually it's worthwhile to trade one red heart at the start of the run in the hopes of some soul hearts from those chests. Really now, these guys are pretty accurate at their shooting. And a troll bomb. Fantastic. Let's give this... No. First. So Tiny Planet, what that does... that little sphere over there... This thing is too fast. I can't. I just can't. So no longer will we be faced with the burden that is Tiny Planet. Spawns your tiers in a big ol' circle that makes it very unwieldy to hit enemies. It's not a good time. Alright, getting pretty lucky with these poops. So honestly, I'm not sure if a brand new save file or a completely filled out save file. I'm not sure which of those has a better chance to give you good items in an item room. It's a great question. There are some nice, good special items that are unlocked from the get-go. Like Polyphemus, gives you some huge damage. You become a freaking Cyclops. It's just visual, of course, but it looks freaking awesome. don't know what else. Ludovico technique. I don't know why it's a special item, but it is. Ah. The helper fly, whatever his name is. Don't need that. I will use my bomb. Cursed Eye. All-time classic. Tractor Beam. This is a DPS increase. Yep, tiers up, range up, shot speed up. Interesting. And basically, yeah, you can teleport your tiers around. You can move them around in a nice little oscillatory fashion. And it's pretty nifty. You can kind of shoot around formations like that. Also makes it a little bit awkward to be dodging stuff. Because then your balls will just run into a rock or whatever. It can be annoying, but it's usually worth it because it does give you the tiers up. And the tiers up, of course, the tiers stat, that is how fast you fire. So a rate of 8. It's not 20% better than 10. The formula is one number, trying to think here, one number below what the actual fire delay is. I'm trying to... So, basically what tier delay does, every time you fire a tier, that's how many ticks of the game are incremented before firing another one. So the act of firing a tier does use up a tick. And that's how that works. Ah, old Gemini. Welcome to the party. Yep, this guy has half of his HP contained in that big ol' abomination there, and the other half is contained in that tiny little fetus. And they remain conjoined for most of the boss fight, until either one dies. And now you gotta wrangle this little baby all over the place. Can be annoying until you get his movements right. There we go. Tractor Beam helps keep him in equilibrium. Normally each tier is staggered. It alternates between your two eyeballs. But this time I have a Tractor Beam, so they're all collinear. Very nice. We should go back to the poop room, see if we can get a 5th cent. Because that 5th cent is the difference between potentially receiving an arcade and not at all. And those spikes, evil. Evil. They appear to have not retracted, but in reality they are fully retracted, even if the animation does play. Harmless. See? Now other times the spikes do not retract ever, so you have to be careful. Depends on the room. Depends on the room archetype. The buttons disable spikes, fires, all of that stuff. But if the spikes are just there without any buttons, you are in a world of hurt. This is just unfair, to be honest. This is RNG in a nutshell. Just enjoy this narrow room in which you cannot dodge anything. So we can say goodbye to this devil deal. We will live another floor in purgatory. No damage zone. Might as well go freaking deep on this. Not something that most people do their first time playing this game. Okay, well it wasn't bad. Wasn't good either. And usually the blue flames have a chance to give a soul heart. They did not. It's a 25% chance. You'd expect 1 out of 4 fires. But, well, gotta love this game sometimes, right? I will keep playing this game until I... until I defeat Mom. It's just... it's going to happen. It may take 10,000 years, but it will happen. Oh, now what have we here? These are optional buttons, mind you, so I don't have to touch these. But I did. And I will. There's one more. Now notice how we don't have the dog tooth, so the secret rooms are not being barked at anymore. I'm on my own. Dog tooth was purely luck. Normally you are on your own. You may not even be aware secret rooms exist until one gets bombed completely out of your own knowledge. 2 of clubs gives me 2 bombs. Alternatively, if you have more than 0, 1, or 2 bombs, it will double your bombs. And this here is Bozo. Party time! 0.1 damage upgrade. Don't mind if I do. So I look pretty interesting right now. Got a freaking Bane mask, thanks to the tractor beam, and clown makeup. Yeah, part of the appeal of this game is just seeing how nasty your character ends up looking. It is pretty hilarious. There we go, there's a nice soul rock. Soul heart. All of the above. Oh, that's the good gravy right there. Yeah, sometimes hearts are skittish. It's a new addition with this DLC. I'm not a big fan of it, but that's just how it goes. Now, what could I be missing here? There were some more soul rocks. There's also a secret room. Got him. Was indeed a secret room. Now, I could try for one of these, but it's 2 keys for admittance, so no thank you. Try for this instead. A troll bomb, huh? How trite. Let's get the heck out of here. See who we have to fight. So, last time when I killed Monstro, it did not unlock the achievement. I'm honestly not sure why. I'm gonna have to check the main menu, see if it's counting any of our progress. Hopefully it's remembering how many tinted rocks I've broken, how many poops I've shot. There's quite a lot to be unlocked. No deal, once again, but we are at the tears cap, with slightly above average damage as well. Now notice that the tears do have a soft cap at a delay of 5. Any other tears items aren't going to shatter it. You're going to be stuck at 5 forever. You might as well not take them. But there are a very rare subset of items that will add a flat tier delay decrease. And with those, well, you can crack open the DPS wide open. What's that? That's redundant? Yes, it is. That is the risk you have to take when speaking freely. These guys. What a bunch of troublemakers. Be gone. How many more hits of mine can they absorb? None. Dispatched with ease. We have 4 soul hearts. We will get a deal this floor. It will be a devil deal, because the very first deal is always a devil deal. If you ignore a devil deal, there's a chance that you can find an angel deal. And that's where things get interesting. Angel items are more defensively oriented, but there are some very good items on the offense perspective. Hopefully we could get a look at those if this is a poor devil deal. Really? He didn't die? Guess I got a little too brash there. And some spiders, and a sack that contained a Joker card. It says question marks on there, but you can kind of discern, well no, there's actually no way you could tell until you use it, that it leads you to the deal of the floor. Devil deal, usually. Could also be an angel deal. Not in my case. That other percentage there, it says 0. That's the angel percentage. It is the percentage of that, of the devil deal, that it might be an angel deal instead. It's a very interesting mechanic. And you guys are ruptured. Awesome. Let's move on. Oh man, this room. Okay. Once that initial wave out of the way, it can be a little bit easier to predict these. Oh, random fear. That must be because I'm a clown. Beautiful. And one more. Perfect. There's our item room. Perfect. Everything's coming up Millhouse. Now these champion items, besides being bigger and having more HP, champion enemies, they will deal an entire heart of damage to you, so you have to be careful. Epiphora. This is an item that will break the tier cap, provided you keep firing in the same direction. We're down to 4. We're down to 3. Delightful for you and me. And we're all the way down to 2. Let me just take a look at that. So we can go all the way down to 2 with this. And somehow, no, now it acknowledged that we got reset. Okay. For some reason it was not registering that. There we go. It's functioning as intended, sadly. There isn't really a way that you can abuse this to get the permanent tiers boost, sadly. Ooh, this is a good second secret room. Don't mind if I will indulge in this. Gladly. Once I've dispatched of these red fires, which, as you can see, spew a little bit of blood towards you. Whipworm, at this point, this is just getting nuts. 1.8 shot speed. Shot speed is probably the most irrelevant stat. Unless it's extremely low, and then you're feeling the burn. Shot speed, most novice players might... It's pretty easy to misconstrue it for the tier delay. It's like, oh, sweet, shot speed, I can fire more bullets. But that is not the case. I will not remove my Epiphora boost. Come on now. You will be eviscerated. Goodbye. Mr. Dolly, well, we are already at the tiers cap. Okay, pentagram again. I swear, it's not usually this common. But we got 3 black cards out of that, so I will consider that a win. We do not have either secret room. No, we did find that one. Okay. Let's go. Next floor. No need to dilly-dally. Oh, you know what? This is a problem. I'm a silly boy. I can't enable mods until I've beaten Mom's heart. So, adios. And the game has crashed. Let's fix that up, shall we? We will have a pure... Again, file 3. New run. Isaac. Normal mode? Why not? Let's go. We're only killing Mom. Make this nice and easy. No longer are achievements disabled. Now I can kill Monstro, and it will count for progress. Hooray for me! So yes, before you can enable mods, there is a certain point you have to reach in the game. It's a little strange of a convention, but it's the way she goes. Pause? I don't even know what this does, to be honest. I have never used it. I just know that it's mediocre. Let's see. Let's try it out. Alright, so it only pauses while you're not firing your tiers. So it is effectively useless. You can, like, observe the pattern the enemies are in, but aside from turtlings again, you've got to be squidding me. See, in normal mode, everything is the same for the most part. The floors are smaller, but all the bosses have the same HP. There is nothing objectively easier about the game. Anyways, 1 down. They really spawn a lot of poops here. That's just nuts. I've never fought the turtlings this many times in my life. This is the power of having a brand new save file. And HP. What a brilliant start! Angry Fly. That's what that was. He was full of blood. He was a very, very rude individual. They tried to orbit around the screen. And I don't know why there's a TNT barrel there, but well, there you have it. Still managed to eke out a soul heart from that. Let's get some new stuff in here, shall we? Let's find Empress. Now that's a nifty tarot card. It gives you some damage and some speed for the single room in which you use it. Basically, use it against the boss. Alternatively, you could use it here. These kinds of rooms tend to overwhelm. Soon we will have destroyed them all. One by one, their heads will fall. Almost took damage there. That would have been quite silly. Come, you. And at long last. Will this be the one? Empress, let's go. Plus 2.3 damage, not bad. The damage isn't necessarily randomized, but it seems to be a little bit dependent on other factors. I'm not too sure. Some sort of multiplier. Little Horn, you self-immolating? What's the deal there? Monstro's Tooth, you don't even have to kill Monstro. Basement Boy. Good job, myself. And now I can indulge in this Demon Beggar, because I have earned Basement Boy. Yay for me. Now here's some good assortment of items here. We have Lord of the Pit, which gives us a speed increase. It gives us wings. Flight, arguably the most beneficial single state one can be in. And we got Roid Rage from that man. And Matchstick here spawns bombs more often.
The Hanged Man.
As you can see, most trinkets, not the best. But now we have some pretty swank loot. Lazarus. I believe his unlock requirement is having 6 soul hearts simultaneously. So there we go. So now our speed is up to 1.9. This is pretty nuts. If you're playing on a keyboard without analog input, it can get kinda crazy. Oh, we do not have spectral tears, sadly. Good thing I already got Basement Boy. Wonder if we can get Caves Boy, Spelunker Boy. Wouldn't that be nice? In case it wasn't obvious, I might not have specified this. Basement Boy is clearing the basement without taking damage. And we apparently have done that. Not literally. Oh, beautiful. Not only does this give you spectral tears, they wrap around the screen. Isn't that just nifty? So I'm already feeling much better about this run than the previous ones. This could be it. Check the shop, we have a Bible. This is a very thematic opportunity. Normally the Bible is useless for us. 14 cents, come on, let's go. This explains why the donation machine was not spawning. I did not have achievements available to me because mods were enabled. Come on, 1 more cent. Will you do this for me? Can you provide me with 1 more cent? That's all I ask. Well, I love that, but it's not a cent. The nice thing about the donation machine is you can explode it, and it can drop some of the money you've invested. So if you need a quick dime, he's got your back. Well, since we're still aching for money, we should check for a secret room, because those tend to have coins or bombs inside. The question is, which one? Yeah, troll bombs have a variable fuse. That one was a poor roll. Which of these is the secret room? There are so many opportunities. Bottom left. This one. This one cannot. It's a narrow room. There is no entry from this side. This one cannot. There was a fire here. So it leaves us with 2 options. We have a 50% gamble here. Do we go left? Do we go right? I'm going to go with left. I may have just missed it. I may have just sabotaged myself. So we will not take the Bible. It doesn't matter that much. It doesn't matter as much as I was thinking. But yeah. The Bible is a relatively lore-related item, as you might anticipate based on how religious the mother was. Oh, there's no map on this floor. Sometimes you get a random curse or debuff, however, they're called curses, and it will randomly shut off features of the game. Curse of the Blind, say goodbye to all of your items. You still get the items, you just can't see which one it is. You might accidentally take a cursed eye. Maybe you'll have a chance to see how bad that item is. Hopefully not, ever. Oh! That's fine. Did not need to clear that room. Guppy's head. I have unlocked Azazel by taking 3 unique Devil Deal items. Don't mind if I do. So we are slowly clearing out the character roster. That's a good start. There goes Cave Spelunker Boy. That was just sad on my part. I could have definitely avoided that. Come now, butt lickers. You can lick your butts in the afterlife. I don't really want this, so I will donate. And I will also boost my devil chances. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think there's an unlock at 10, but it has already jammed, so... Yikes. Oh, the moon. Interesting. Emperor. Also interesting. Let's go. Big horn. Again, I leave the cutscene. Oh well. It's not that bad. It doesn't show anything besides a funny graphic. That's all. Not even funny. Just illustrated. Biggest Hornus. What could you possibly do for us? Now, this man is a little bit bugged, because the fiery bombs that he shoots out, maybe it's not a bug, come to think. They deal contact damage. It makes sense, they are on fire. But when Isaac has fiery bombs of his own, through use of items, they do not deal contact damage, so basically... Okay, and he just sabotaged himself, so that's beautiful. Just spawn on top of your own fire. Excellent. So, no deal, but we got some meat. So, it all works out. A slight amount of extra damage. Don't mind if I do. And a beggar. Well, I will save my money for the next floor's shop, to be fair. There we go. Goodbye, Chargers. The moon. I'll just bring that to the next floor, perhaps? Did we get our item room? No. No. Where be that? Not here. Not there. Not anywhere. Where, oh where could the item room be? Challenge zone. Been there, done that. That's our starting room. Ah, here's somewhere we've not been. You can tell because the heart spawned. It did its little spawn animation. That's how you know you've not been there before. There's our item room. Prayer card. We can use it once. This spawns an eternal heart. We all know and love. Sulfuric acid. Cute, but we have spectral tears. Normally, when the ball impacts a rock, it will dissolve it, but we do not have that luxury, because we do not impact rocks, because our tears are specifically designed to phase through rocks. And yes, this is another example of how you can reroll with both money or bombs. Okay, Holy Light. That's pretty nice. Spawns random beams of light when that tear makes contact with an enemy. There was one right there. Those bright blue balls. Let's make a move on. 2 caves, 2, I believe. Yep, there he goes. Let's watch one of these. Nice gift. Bullied hard. Yeah, it's so ingrained in my muscle memory to skip those cutscenes. Poor Isaac reliving his worst experiences as he's crying in that old basement. And he's got all sorts of other things to deal with. Satan himself. Mediocre pills. God forbid. Bye. A little scared, aren't you? What's the matter, scared? And that challenge room is a boss challenge room. Those are restricted on the entry. So are the regular challenge rooms. The regular challenge rooms, you must have your red heart's completely filled. The boss ones, you must have 1 red heart or less. That's all there is to it. It's a little bit silly, but there you have it. Taurus. Worst zodiac sign by far. I'm gonna have to touch it eventually, but that day is not now. Parasitoid. I'll take it. Right? And that one spawns random eggs. And the eggs will spawn into flies or spiders. Bumbo. Don't need him. That little conglomeration of a man will feast on your coins, and he will slowly evolve into a bigger boy. That bigger boy will deal more damage. Okay, mini mush it is. Now notice how the nominal range stat decreased, but it added to the secret stat of tier height. Pretty silly that there's a secret stat at all, but there is. Zap! Enjoy your holy light. Special treat, 10,000 volts. Straight to the nuts and bolts. Okay, did you really have to do that? We've taken 2 hits, that's close enough to basement or cellar boy. Spelunker boy. However you wish to call it. Maybe we should investigate our shop. Shops at this point only have 2 items inside, it's not the best. But through donations you can enhance the shop. Free. Extra flies. Question mark card, it literally does the same thing as your active item. That's all it does. Just doubles your active item. Can be strategic, but usually is pretty useless. Oh, Gertie. What are you spewing at me? This is an interesting boss. It's completely stationary, but spawns enemies, shoots at you, somewhat predictably. Can be hard to get the timing right, initially. Little Chubby has appeared in the basement, so I didn't have to beat Chub for that, either. My whole world is crumbling around me. I thought they were tied to their respective bosses. Headless baby, why not? Ceremonial robes will give us 3 black hearts in repayment. And the wooden spoon, completely useless, we already have maximum speed. I'm not even going to bother looking for our second secret room. But primary secret room is available to us. Self-sacrifice room, interesting choice. Now that was pretty satisfying. Just explode everything. Now the luck stat does affect the rate of the holy shot spawning. We're still at 0 luck, but that can change. One might eventually unlock an item called Lucky Pennies. It isn't really an item, but it changes random pennies into ones that give you a whole extra luck point. Good to know for the future. Oh, I skipped that cutscene, but we'll probably find it again. It is one in which Isaac's pee-pee gets detached. Nightmarish. Totally one of the worst things you could imagine happening. Very suitable for these cutscenes. Now this room is kind of annoying if you don't have flight, but I do, so there you have it. A lot of the room obstacles are trivialized if you do have flight. Pretty fun stuff. Oh, I could have gotten Depths Boy, but not anymore. Not anymore. I don't need to care about that just yet. Those will come with time. They will come with time. There's one character which is unlocked a long way down the road. You cannot take damage with him, or else you die. Simple as that. So if I don't have the Assorted Boy achievements by then, I certainly will at that point. Guppy's head has been putting in some good effort. His flies. The flies, they deal double your tier damage. They're quite useful. Should I check the card? Might as well. Chariot. Gives you some brief invulnerability. So yes, we have made it all the way to the depths. That's a first, sadly. And, this is the final floor of the game for now. Notice that it's just a 4 now. This is the lair of the mom. Our true fate will await us very soon. This is not yet mom, though. This is depth 1. This is, oh goodness, brownie. This is a call for invulnerability if I have seen it. This boss is nuts. I don't know why it's unlocked by default. It doesn't even resemble Brownie from Super Meat Boy. Just a nominal resemblance. Purely name related. No deal, I will take this. We could get a... actually, never mind. The mom fight will terminate our run. It's been a good one. It's been fun. Check for a secret room, perhaps? Very good. 3 centavos. We've donated 9 coins. You know, it's something. So, I suppose down we go. The final floor, final destination awaits us. Depths 2. The one and only. Glitter bombs? Why, I'll give it a shot. These make my bombs randomly drop consumables. Most importantly, it gives me 5 bombs. Those are quite valuable when you have 0 bombs. Just killed Loki there. A lot of these bosses you would fight at this point in the game, which makes it pretty strange to be fighting them in just a random gauntlet, but hey. These are true floor bosses. These are not something you want to be messing with. But it's a good way to gauge our progress of damage, our DPS. Holy Light is certainly putting in some good work. 10 rate of fire and 6.7 damage is quite bad. A single Tears upgrade would have been nice. And even with that mediocre menagerie of stats, we have pretty good killing power. All 4 proboscis monsters. No thank you. How annoying those guys could be if you don't have flight. They don't harm you directly outside of their proboscis, but they do spawn damaging trails of blood. Sort of like my headless baby, except it damages me instead of them. Unlike fireplaces, that creep only hurts me and not the enemies. Just an empty room? I love it. Thank you. I do remember that existing. Nice to find that here. Okay, so here's our mom fight. We could check for an item room. We might as well. Counts as an unlock. There we go. You have been destroyed. Love it when the portals spawn the Death's Head, at which point, and the portal itself dissociates after the spawn, and then the Death's Head dissociates after the portal dies, because the Death's Head kills itself when all the other enemies have been killed, because it itself is invulnerable and cannot be killed. Pretty interesting, right? There are plenty of strange interactions like that in this game. Let's just be on with it. Let's put an end to this. This video has been a lot longer than I anticipated, but it is getting off on the right foot, I would say. Speaking of feet, that's the biggest threat during this mom fight. You basically have to keep moving, because the tail, she does leave a tail, her grunt, but sadly, it can be a little bit hard to hear sometimes. And her foot does have a nice big shadow. Really? You're gonna spawn those directly on top of me? Come on.
Isaac
We've done it.
was cornered. His mother, fueled with the desire to serve her God, was bearing down on Isaac. I will do as I'm told, my lord. I love you above all else, Isaac's mother repeated to herself. This was the end of the line for Isaac. His mother was far too strong for him. But just as he accepted his fate, God intervened, sending an angel down from above to stop his mother's hand. And just like that, it was over.
Wow, spooky, huh? Well, if you want to watch the credits, they're online, but we might as well honor them here. Some concluding thoughts on the game. You might have seen in those last few frames of the mom fight, some doors opened up. There's a big crevice. That's a secret boss gauntlet. And there was also a devil deal, which we all know and love. The secret boss gauntlet can be pretty interesting. It's like 10 or 15 waves of assorted bosses from all 3 previous 4 archetypes. That will be something to keep in mind for the next run, in which the mom fight will not end our run. We've unlocked the womb, as you might see. Unlocked the purist challenge. Interesting. XXXXL, those are fun. Lots of fun challenges here. Pride Day. Onan's Streak, that's gonna be interesting. The Guardian, God almighty. April's Fool. And here we go, Horsemen. Those are great. Cube of Meat. Very useful. So, hope this has been a little bit of an educational experience. Perhaps you might want to try the game out for yourself. But until then, stay tuned for our next video in about 2 days from now. And I'll see you next time.